Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7 o'clock. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Rogers, and nothing like Eyewitness News on the wax. And of course, we start things off by checking with meteorologist Melissa Cole for a forecast that's improved a little bit over the last couple of days, right?
Yeah, we started noticing that our models were drying things out a little bit and keeping any showers to the west of Connecticut. So that means improvement for us. Yep. It won't be the brightest weekend, but it'll be good enough to get your outdoor plans in tomorrow and most of Sunday before we bring back the shower chances. We do have some reduced visibility outside right now thanks to some area fog. Temperatures currently are in the 60s overhead, 66 in Hartford, 64 right now in Chester and Groton. And we're in the muggy category. Dew points are in the 60s. They'll stay in the 60s all weekend long and maybe even get into that oppressive category on Monday before they really drop off and we dry out for next week. We've got a really nice forecast Tuesday and beyond. Highs today will top out in the 80s, low to mid 80s along the shoreline, mid to upper 80s inland Connecticut. Notice the smoky sky out there. We do have some wildfire smoke kind of settling downwards from Canada, and that will obscure the sunshine at times today. Satellite and radar picture is fairly quiet. We did have some nasty showers and storms pop up in eastern Connecticut yesterday with some very heavy rainfall, gusty winds and hail, but that's long gone. And right now we have high pressure overhead, which will keep us dry for today, tomorrow, and most of Sunday. We'll time things out for you coming up in the full forecast. Kate, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Melissa. Good morning, everyone. 7:02 here on the wax, heading out the door. Majority of the state is actually very quiet. It's Friday morning, so we've got summer Fridays. People hang out at home a little bit longer, maybe take long weekends. So your drive times and speeds are reflecting that. You can see 91 and 84, no issues here. Just pretty, I don't want to say minor, but we are seeing some delays. They're just not significant at this time. 95 southbound New Haven to the George Washington Bridge, and we are slowing down along the Parkway, but again, not as terrible as what we'd normally see for this time of morning the rest of the week. Crash and incident free. No construction set up at this time. We will wait to see that daytime construction work pick up just about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning. We are seeing some reduced visibility. You can see that here pretty clearly in Middletown along Route 9. Melissa's been saying that we've got some fog taking place here in the greater Hartford area as well. It's a live look there. And in Meriden, just a little bit of that fog that I can kind of see there on our DOT camera on 691. So just make sure that you're reducing those speeds. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, thanks, Kate. 7:03 now, and there is growing outrage across the state right now over high energy bills ahead of yet another expected rate hike next month.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler has more on where things stand right now and the pressure being put on lawmakers.
Tracy and Roger, here's the upside. Lawmakers seem to be playing on the same team. Both Republicans and Democrats want to figure out a way to get your Eversource bill down. And Governor Lamont is now saying he's even considering a special session to try and find a solution. Now, here's the downside. It's not clear how long it's going to take for that to shape up by September. Pura announced on Wednesday Eversource and United Illuminating customers will see their bills climb even higher next month to help pay for more electric vehicle chargers across the state. It's something some residents don't agree with.
My charge went from 6% to 26% in a 1 month period. So in real dollars, that equates to $18 to $96.
Besides September's expected hike through April of next year, it is expected that the public benefit portion of your bill will be even higher than it used to be. That's due to a 4-year moratorium put in place during the pandemic. State Senator Lisa Seminara proposed during Thursday's town hall to use ARPA funding if money is left. State Representative Pat Boyd Rhodes said on Facebook he joined a group of moderate House Democrats calling on Pura to reconsider the hike, saying, quote, "We've clearly heard from rate players. We can't wait until the legislature is back in regular session in January." No word yet on when the special session could be called for. This is a developing story we continue to stay on top of. In Hartford, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Many of you have already reached out to us about your electric bills, and we want to hear what you have to say.
Anita in New Britain writes, "I think it's horrible to charge us more for electric. Some are struggling to make ends meet. Some of us are working 2 or 3 jobs to put food on the table. They want to charge more for electric vehicles than charge the people who are using them, not all of us." Now, you can sound off right now by going to WFSB's news app. We'll continue to share your comments on Eyewitness News as well as our website, WFSB.com.
All right, right now a man is in critical condition after someone shot him on Rush Street in Hartford last night. Police say the violence happened outside of a grocery store and that the victim tried to run away from police. Crews were able to find him so they can get him to the hospital right away. At this point, police have not made any arrests.
And we do have a major update to tell you about this morning. 4 years after a deadly shootout at a popular club in Hartford, another gang member will go to prison. A judge just sentenced 43-year-old Carl Jones to 10 years in jail after the shooting at Majestic Lounge on Franklin Avenue back in 2020. Now, one person was killed and 4 others were injured in that attack. Jones, who is a member of Los Solitos, shot another gang member, Joshua Saez, and another person. Saez is also serving time for killing somebody in that same attack.
Well, this morning, a battle over Title IX continues in Hartford Superior Court. More than 2 years after their initial appeal, 4 student athletes will appear in another hearing this morning.
Now, this follows the second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals decision to double down and allow transgender athletes to compete here in Connecticut. Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones is breaking it all down for us, including what we expect to happen later today.
Without a doubt, this is a highly contentious issue, both sides passionately arguing what they feel is right and just. Here's how we got to the hearing today. The lawsuit was originally filed back in 2020 by 4 cisgender high school female track athletes. They claim the participation of 2 transgender athletes took away chances to win championships, qualify for races, and even deprive them of scholarship opportunities. In December of 2022, a Court of Appeals ruling by a 3-judge panel said the 4 cisgender athletes, quote, lacked standing to sue. In addition, the judges called their claims speculative. But 1 year later, in 2023, the Second Circuit Appeals Court ruled the cisgender athletes do have legal standing to challenge the policy, opening back up the door for them to bring the case back to court. Now the Alliance Defending Freedom, the attorneys representing the cisgender athletes, are hoping for a different outcome. In a statement released by the ADF yesterday, their counsel said, in part, Selena, Chelsea, Alana, and Ashley, like all female athletes, deserve access to fair competition. The CX policies degraded all of their accomplishments, scarred their athletic records, irreparably harming each female athlete's interest in accurate recognition of her athletic achievements. Earlier this morning, we spoke to a spokesperson from SEAC. They said that their policy on transgender athletes is very inclusive, and they look forward to defending that policy in court. The hearing will begin at 10 this morning. In Hartford, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
A group of paraprofessionals in Stonington are now fighting for better wages, and they want Board of Ed members to help them make it happen.
They say they are underpaid and they're struggling to put food on the table. They also claim that special needs students will suffer without them. So to make matters worse, they're adding that their wages have caused a shortage of paraprofessionals.
Stonington Public Schools has 15 plus openings, and to us that means that there's the potential that the students who are the most vulnerable in this district are not going to get the services and the supports that they need.
Now, school leaders, though, have fired back. They tell us that wages for Stonington paraprofessionals are on par with surrounding districts.
All right, the Boys and Girls Club of Milford is getting nearly $1 million in funding. The new money will help the club expand its capacity, programming, and ultimately the number of children it can serve.
Love to see that good news on a Friday, right? We're told the Boys and Girls Club is projected to help more than 2,000 children over the next 5 years. Pretty cool, Melissa.
Yes, for sure. Well, you probably noticed that we've had a little haze in the air past couple of days thanks to some Canadian wildfires. And you know what? The smoke will actually be a little bit thicker out there today, so that will obscure the sunshine, especially by 5 o'clock this evening. Notice we're in that yellow category through Hartford, Torrington, Waterbury, down to Danbury, and it starts to thin out a little bit as we head towards Saturday. So be mindful of that throughout the day. May reduce the air quality a bit during the afternoon. All right, so temperatures today are looking good. If you're making it a pool day, we're going to climb well into the 80s, especially inland. Here's a little bit of that hazy sky and some fog in Middletown right now. And here's what it looks like in Waterbury, a little bit brighter there with a temperature of 65. So again, today we will see temperatures climbing up pretty quickly into the lower to middle 80s by lunchtime today. And we'll probably top out in the upper 80s away from the shoreline. And then again, sunshine and some clouds with some of that haze along the shoreline. Highs topping out in the upper 70s to lower 80s.
All right, thanks, Melissa. 5 people have now been charged in connection with Friends actor Matthew Perry's death. 2 doctors, Perry's assistant, as well as a person called the Ketamine Queen are among those charged, according to the U.S. Attorney General's office.
Well, they also say that Perry received several ketamine injections from his assistant the day he died. They found Perry in his jacuzzi last October. The autopsy listed ketamine as his primary cause of death, which was ruled an accident.
Now, 3 of the defendants have already reached a plea deal. The other 2 were indicted on Wednesday. And Vice President Kamala Harris is heading to North Carolina today to deliver her first major policy speech as the Democratic presidential nominee. She'll outline proposals to hopefully lower prices of everyday goods and announce moves aimed at expanding tax incentives for affordable housing.
This comes after former President Donald Trump slammed the Biden administration over its handling of inflation with a display of grocery items at his news conference at his New Jersey golf course.